Sanctum Tower. A massive tower that stands at the heart of Kivotos. Its origin and purpose are a complete mystery, though it's rumored that the Prime Student Council knows the truth. That's the description we were given in a tweet from 2021. And 4 years later, we still have almost no explanation as to the true nature of this mysterious tower. However, we have enough clues about how Kivotos functions to make some assumptions. Much of this is speculation, obviously, but this kind of logical speculation is fun for me, so let's try to figure this out. Sanctum Tower is said to bestow the power to control Kivotos. Allow me to cut to the chase. The General Student Council has no authority because the top administrator of Sanctum Tower has gone missing. We have been searching for a way to bypass the need for verification, all to no avail, until recently. Rin says they have no authority over Kivotos without access to the tower. How does the tower bestow authority though? What does it actually do? We are occupying Sanctum Tower. Why? We recently acquired an ancient weapon, and we need the Sanctum Tower's power to... well, I won't bore you with the details. When Kaiser takes control of the tower, the president says he needs it to... Sensei, I heard the only way to pilot Utnapishtim's ship was through the power of Sanctum Tower. That was why Kaiser PMC tried to occupy Sanctum Tower right before excavating the ship. And with the Sanctum Tower destroyed, as the owner of the Shim chest, operating the ship falls upon you, Sensei. So they needed the tower to control Utnapishtim's ship. So Sanctum Tower has power over the ancient technology of Kivotos then. During Volume F, the false Sanctums appear and threaten to throw Kivotos into madness. Black Suit says this about them. The Chroma seems to be trying to absorb the sublime to harness every mystery and terror in Kivotos and make them its own. The 6 towers that appeared in Kivotos are like reversed Sanctum Towers. They are technologies established by the nameless gods, mysteries of the enlightenment that came into being even before the ancient times of this world. They'll spread the Chroma to this world to turn every nightmare and mystery in Kivotos into a terror-filled reality. So the tower is an ancient technology from the nameless gods then, and they will be the means by which the Chroma spreads. Based on analysis, the towers must be destroyed within 2 weeks. From now on, we'll call the 6 unidentified towers that appear in Kivotos false sanctums. So they're like fake Sanctum Towers. That explains the red sky, storms, and high energy. Oh, does it really? So apparently, it's only natural that a reverse Sanctum Tower would turn the sky red, cause storms, and build up high energy. The Shidam chest has power over Sanctum Tower. What is the Shidam chest exactly? Shidam is another word for acacia wood, the type of wood that the Ark of the Covenant is made of. So the Ark literally being a chest made of Shidam. There we have our answer. The Ark is also said to contain Aaron's rod. Not only that, but it's said that God speaks to Moses from between the 2 cherubims on the Ark. Okay, if you're still not convinced, well, Basement Dweller straight up says it. No aliases or euphemisms. That is the Ark of the Covenant, and apparently it took down the walls of Jericho. Really? When did it do that? It's possible that it did do something like that a long time ago, but we actually have a very recent example of it doing just that. In the Bible, at God's command, the Israelites carried the ark around Jericho for 7 days. And on the 7th, accompanied by the sounding of 7 trumpets, the walls fell and they were able to take the city and kill everyone there. So those walls of Jericho that the Basement Dweller speaks of, they may be the 7 false sanctums that held the city under the Chroma's control. It may be that the power which the Sanctum Tower possesses is the power to protect, or block, as a wall would, and the Shidam chest takes its role as the one weapon capable of felling those walls. But the tower can also do other things like jam communications and interface with other ancient technology. But I'd say it's likely that the main feature of the tower is to insulate Kivotos, protect it from the outside world. If those halos in the sky are a representation of that divine protection over the city, it's possible the Sanctum Tower might have the ability to revoke that protection, and thus whoever controls Sanctum Tower has power over all the other districts. I don't find it likely that the Sanctum Tower has any major offensive capabilities used to maintain its authority. Kivotos is actually completely lacking in any kind of WMDs. Aris's railgun is considered cutting edge of weapons technology in the city, and the only nuke in the whole city was made by Kaiser. So apparently Kivotos has no need for nukes as a deterrent to protect the city from the outside world. Kaiser thought that with the power of Utnapishtim's ship, they could take over the city. But if the tower had offensive capabilities, surely they could just try blowing the ship out of the sky. It seems likely to me that the authority of Sanctum Tower is the control over those halos in the sky, which are likely protecting the city. But the tower was destroyed when the false sanctum falls out of the sky and crushes it. Apparently Kaiser plans to rebuild it. No idea how they're going to do that. By the way, it was said that a curse was placed on anyone who tried to rebuild the walls of Jericho that would bring the deaths of their firstborn and youngest child. I wonder how that's gonna go for them. Well, anyway, the tower's gone now, so why are the halos still on? Well, there were 7 false sanctums. Why wouldn't there also be 7 actual sanctums? More sanctums? Well, how did Fernaptes call down 7 if there weren't already at least 7? I would have never thought that the Chroma arriving from outside of Kivotos would seek to secure them. It seems as long as it's a mystery that's manifested even once over Kivotos, the guide of the Chroma can make it its own. The Ark of Antrahasis must have been secured that way too. Like the Chroma decoggramation that appeared through the Sanctum, the Mimesis, and the Artificial Angels. The Chroma can control mysteries that have manifested in Kivotos, and while he was able to respawn the Chromas after you defeat them, there's nothing to say that he can make multiple copies of them. I mean, why wouldn't the Chroma just create like 100 binnas then? It seems more likely that the Chroma has to follow the rules of the original mystery. There's only one binna, and so there can only be one Chroma binna. Yet there are multiple false sanctums. If there really were more sanctums, surely we would have seen them then. Well, here's one in Abydos. Hold on, isn't that just Sanctum Tower? Is it? Then where's the actual tower part? Isn't this what Sanctum Tower looks like from Abydos? This one looks much further away, and there's an actual skyline under it. What about this shot of it? Where the hell is the tower? Is this some time is convoluted in Kivotos bullshit? There's a bunch more background images that all show sanctums all over Kivotos, with no tower. Then these must be separate sanctums. Even when the false sanctums show up, this one is still here. It looks a little messed up, but it doesn't look like the black spiraling false sanctum, which replaced Sanctum Tower. The extra false sanctums do look like the main one though. By the way, if there was a sanctum in Abydos, this is how big it would appear from Abydos. If we were looking at the one in DU from Abydos, it would look like this, way in the distance. But if this one is still here, and it doesn't look like a false sanctum, it seems like the other false sanctums did not replace the old sanctums. Only the one in DU got devastated. Well, now can we talk about the inconsistency surrounding the tower? Apparently this is Sanctum Tower, but so is this. Sorry, but these do not look like the same building at all. This one towers over every building in the city before even releasing its beam of light, while this one seems close to the size of the shale building. And where the hell is the beam of light? Instead, it's just got this floating monolith above it. It doesn't exactly seem to come to a point like it does from the other angles, and it doesn't seem to shoot all the way into the sky either. By the way, the game starts in the General Student Council lobby. And where is that? It's in Sanctum Tower, of course. So let's take a look out the window, and what the hell is that? Oh, it's another sanctum. Well, if we're in Sanctum Tower, and we can see one over there, I guess it's settled then. There are multiple sanctums. And seeing as they all shoot beams of light into the sky towards the sky halos, and halos and Kivotos provide protection, it seems likely that these sanctums are what is protecting Kivotos. They are the walls of Jericho, and Sensei takes the role of Joshua, leader of the Israelites after Moses' death. But if there are multiple sanctums, why has no one ever mentioned it? Well, the developers mentioned that students can't see halos, they can only feel them. So does that mean they can't see the sanctums either? Only the tower itself? Nope, Satin points out the sanctum and the halos in the sky during her relationship story. So unless you consider the crossover characters to be non-canon, they can see sanctums. I guess no one thought they were important enough to mention. By the way, the recent anniversary PV showed a functioning Sanctum Tower back in DU. Kaiser did say they'd rebuild it. Not that I think this PV is canon, considering they're all wearing Blue Archive shirts. And they let Shuro into the building. But it wouldn't be the first time a PV showed scenes that take place in the future. Plana appeared in a PV long before her reveal. We have seen what the rebuilt Sanctum Tower looks like though. Here's the office. And here's your mysterious new president taking her seat. Since Kaiser was so interested in controlling the tower, and they've helped rebuilding it, I wonder if this mysterious new president might be a Kaiser student. That might just be my bias though, as I've been hoping to get a Kaiser student for a while now. Well, as long as we're answering pressing questions about Blue Archive. What is a Blue Archive anyway? Well, it's the story of our youth and school days, of course. Not good enough? Okay. Surprise, surprise, it's the Akashic Records. How do we know that? Akasha means sky. To be Akashic would mean to be of the sky. The sky is blue. A record and an archive are pretty much the same thing. Well, just because the archive is blue doesn't make it a sky archive. Okay, what about now? The Akashic records are the records of everything ever. Records tell stories. Blue Archive is a collection of stories. Alright, that's it for this video. I realize there might be a few holes in my speculation or logic, but I didn't see anyone else talking about this, so I wanted to get it out there and get discussion moving. If you've got any good ideas about the nature of Kivotos, be sure to let me know in the comments below.